Fudge Gang! I am a hard man. Let's go. It is I, Imperator Forge, the host of the channel, and we're going live. Let's go. I am going to be talking about common consciousness within the Noosphere, within the second sound, within the notion of the sixth sense. I want to talk about the concept of common consciousness within the Noosphere, the second sound, the sixth sense, the metaphysics, the meta world of the idea forms. The world of forms, the Platonic ideas, the Platonic nuances, Platonic niches. I want to tell you what created the zone, what led to the inevitable conception of and creation of the zone. And it was C consciousness. It was the group and their orchestration, their experimentation into the Noosphere, into common consciousness that led to the creation of the zone. Out of the zone of which sprang the sector. The sector and everything about the sector, in all aspects within and of the sector, in all things that led to and within and of the sector, derive from the zone, which derives from the common consciousness of the group, the common consciousness of the Noosphere, or the Noosphere, and all that it was and all that it could be. Evil essence and evil darkness, and the troon flu infection that came over the sector, doth it was. Doth is it was. But out of the darkest of dark comes light. Yet in darkness there is still light. Hello, hello, hello. Fudge Gang! I'm still a hard man! Let's go! Alright, anyways, we have Juice saying it sounds deep. Yes, it's very Platonic. It is extremely Platonic, to say the very least, Juice. Jay says, do you think 2 inches is big enough? That's kind of a gay thing to say there, Jay. I mean, come on, didn't Shaggy show you his dick in Axel's server? Didn't Mormon Shaggy actually show you his actual dick in Axel's server? And Shaggy has a full bazaar full of troons. Mormon Shaggy and Drunkard Serpent arguing and fighting over troons like Matty Cat and Lame Wire Jesse and Rick Perry. Because they are fighting for the troons of the sector. But why would you ask me about dick size? Are you trying to take dick pics? Like, are you trying to be like Bri? Are you trying to be like King of Pole? Are you asking for dick outlines like Bri does? Come on, man, have better sense than that. Don't become the Zoomer Bri, for Christ's sake. Come to the cross, Jay. Find Christ. Don't become the Zoomer version of Bri. Don't be like the troons and don't inject the troon flu into yourself. It is the troon flu fentanyl of doom. Absolute satanic doom. All right, anyways, Juice says, Jay, yeah, gay. Yes, it's kind of gay for a straight man to show his underwear to another straight man. Even if it is Mormon magic underpants, it is still gay. Just like Surfer is gay, Shaggy and Surfer are both figs. They're both gay. Bob A says, can you please show your face? No thank you, man. No thanks. I don't need to always show my face to prove a point. Now, what is this common consciousness within the noosphere? What is the second sound, the sixth sense? Well, I will tell you that Francis E. Degasque is a fool. No surprise there. But why is he a fool? Why is he a fool, man? As Mr. T says, oh man, you is a freaking fool and shit. Now get out of here, gay boy. Well, the answer is that he does not understand Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of natural nobility. The concept of the natural nobility, the natural nobleman. What is this, you say? The natural nobleman is the most genetic elite of the most genetic elites. Okay, what differentiates me from a lot of so-called right-wing people is that he is confusing me with being a white populist or a white libertarian. I am an elitist. I am a Eurocentric elitist, which is very different from a white populist. A European elitist is not a populist by any sense. Gustave Le Bon, or Gustave Le Bon, said that the crowd is very easily swayed by anything that they see. The crowd is swayed to and fro by all the delights and all of the intricate ideas of the modern world. The natural-born nobleman does not do that. The natural nobleman finds his own personal values and builds his own ethics and lives by a type of Bushido, which is different from the populist masses. Most people are insects. Most people are dogs, and they don't know how to lead, except how to be bandits and thugs and possessed with demons and whatnot. Jew says based. Jew says bring back the elite. There you go, bro. Rick says natural nosh. Bob A says, well, you're not going to show me your face. Can you show me your house? Francis Yafool. Let's see here. Rick says splat. Bob A says, I call 911. Anyways, yeah. I want to talk about the common consciousness of the noosphere. It is, and how it led to the creation of the zone. The creation of the zone and the abnormalities around Chernobyl and the zone. What it caused and what it led to, and the pre-existence and pre-precipitations of all the unnatural phenomena that occurs within the zone, and how it led to the sector. The dark, evil, vile Leviathan that is the sector. What happened to Medicare? Why did Medicare get supposed cancer? And what is the deal with Mr. Medicare, Sargon of Akkad, Sargon of Akkad, I think is the actual pronunciation. And like Ethan Ralph and Rick Ricada and all these people, you know, Rick says the new existence. Where the hell is Rick Perry? Jew says, so the zone was before the sector. Yes. Pizzagate and Gamergate came out of the zone. And that is what apparently led to the sector. At least that's what the Phagmo used to claim, that, oh, the Dynamo. Oh, it's the Dynamo. That's what he told Troon Cow anyways, or Tranny Cow. That's what the Phagmo told Tranny Cow anyways. Bobby says, I know who you are, Mr. Reef. Of course you do, Bobby. Of course you do, Bobby Fischer. You know everything about me, Bobby A. Fischer. I need a chicken wing really badly. Oh, please shove it down my throat. Oh, I need help. I'm dying, and I need a chicken wing. Wrong, yeah. Juice says, haha. Yeah. Anyways, where's my other phone? Try to find it in here. It feels like a haunted house. I'm in the Forge haunted house. Yeah, I need a chicken wing. There we go. I can read on one phone and stream on the other. We need to talk about the zone. What led to the zone and to the creation of the zone? I need a chicken wing. Oh, yeah. Shove it down my throat. Here we go. The Noosphere, according to the writings of Vladimir Vernadsky and Teilhard de Chardin, denotes the sphere of human thought. The word is derived from the Greek vowel neos, mind, saphareia, sphere, mind sphere, in lexical analogy to atmosphere or biosphere. In relation to the Stalker games, scientific experiments done on the noosphere formed the zone. The original theory of Vernadsky, his views the noosphere has the third in a succession of phases of development of the Earth, after the geosphere, inanimate matter, and the biosphere, biological life. Just as the emergence of life fundamentally transformed the geosphere, the emergence of human cognition fundamentally transforms the biosphere. For Teilhard, the noosphere emerges through and is constructed by the interaction of human minds. The noosphere has grown in step with the organization of the human mass in relation to itself as it populates the earth. As mankind organizes itself in more complex social networks, the higher the noosphere will grow in awareness. In the Stalker game series, the theory of the noosphere is altered slightly. Rather than an abstract social environmental concept, the noosphere is very much real. a tangible, if invisible, field surrounding the Earth linked by, affected by, or affecting both human minds and thoughts. After the 1986 incident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a series of secret laboratories were created within the 30-kilometer exclusion zone around the Chernobyl NPP. The Noosphere was one of the main research areas, and the scientists concluded that it is indeed real and could be tampered with, removing negative emotions such as anger, cruelty, greed, etc., entirely from the planet. However, a single human could never be able to affect the Noosphere in any noticeable way. Thus, it led to the creation of sea consciousness. In 2006, when the sea consciousness attempted to alter the Noosphere, their experiment backfired horribly. The result was the zone. Since then, the sea consciousness has been fighting against the zone, with little success, mostly by attempts to contain it. And now I need to tell you about common consciousness and what common consciousness is. The common consciousness, abbreviated as sea consciousness, is the result of a secret project of the clandestine research society known simply as the Group, for the purposes of Noosphere alteration. It is ultimately responsible for the creation and thus expansion of the zone. They appear as the primary antagonist of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, and they are the members of the research group also mentioned in Stalker Clear Sky and Stalker Call of Pripyat. They return in Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. In the aftermath of the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, the Soviet Union decided to use the Chernobyl zone of exclusion as a testing site for a variety of experiments, starting in 1989. The location proved to be ideal, as it was recluse enough to avoid unwanted attention, and the Chernobyl NPP was still in operation, and was able to supply the researchers with plenty of energy for their experiments. As part of these research programs, an extensive network of research laboratories known as X-Labs were founded within the zone. The research mostly focused on mind control. Similar experiments were carried out in the city of Lemansk, although it is unknown if they were related to the rest. When the Soviet Union fell apart in 1991, the new independent state of Ukraine was unable to put an end to the research, allowing the scientists' work to continue unhindered. The scientists' work led to the discovery of the Noosphere, an invisible field of energy surrounding the Earth linked by, affected by, and affecting human minds and thoughts, which they would later prove by studying the distortion of signals. Soon, the scientific breakthroughs that began to take place influenced the researchers to find a way to influence humanity psychically on a global scale using the Noosphere. By removing negative factors such as cruelty, this led to the eventual formation of a hive mind of 7 neurally linked scientists known as the common consciousness, which was necessary as no ordinary human could interfere with the Noosphere directly. The sea consciousness then attempted to modify the Noosphere. The intervention took place on March 4th, 2006, and failed due to a power outage. A month later, on April 12, 2006, the experiment was performed again, and this time it continued until its completion. However, it did not have the desired effect. Instead, the experiment created a rift in the noosphere and allowed it to directly affect the biosphere, creating a large area where physical laws were outright broken and mysterious phenomena not understood by modern science manifested themselves. The zone. In the aftermath of the experiment, the common consciousness attempted to find a way to control the zone. The rift in the noosphere was expanding, and the common consciousness was attempting to restrain it with their power, but their efforts were endangered by the outside world. In order to defend themselves against intruders, the common consciousnesses used a powerful antenna array informally known as the brain scorcher to block out access to the center of the zone, but also to control the minds of stalkers wandering too close to the center, allowing the common consciousness to found a powerful army capable of protecting the center of the zone against unwanted visitors, which would later be known as the monolith. Some of their agents, however, were tasked with infiltrating stalker communities to carry out their orders. The Wish Granter was also part of this scheme, being used by the scientists to lure stalkers within range of their antennas. Alright, so that's how the zone came into being. So I will talk a bit about the zone. So the thing about the zone to understand is that the zone is in a different timeline. The zone and everything that it takes place in is in a different reality, but it is in the same universe. It is in fact in an alternate reality, and the influences and conceptualizations of the zone and what happened in the zone had an irreversible effect into our universe, into our reality. Because the two different realities, the two different pocket dimensions are going through the same time space. And the inexpansive, immaterial, noetic, soul-infusing, mind-blasting virus that poured through the noosphere in that alternate reality came out of the ass of a tranny in this reality and led to the creation of the sector. That's how the sector was born out of the zone. And it happened when Ethan Ralph was born. Ethan Ralph was born at the same time as the Chernobyl nuclear power plant accident. So what actually happened was, as a result of alternate metaphysical phenomena that transpired in the zone, in that alternate reality of the lower world, the lower plane, it led to the creation of the sector in this higher plane. The sector and the zone coexist existentially. And I was just joking when I said it came out of the ass of a tranny. I was just joking about that. No, it actually came out of the Bermuda Triangle. It happened and came first out of the Bermuda Triangle, and then it spread over the entire rest of the world. So the sector in this universe, in this reality, coexists with the zone in that reality. It's kind of like in BioShock. BioShock and BioShock Infinite. So that is how the sector came to be. Now, the sector has fallen into disrepute and decline because of the Troon flu. The sector has been infected by the Troon flu hive mind virus. The hive mind virus of the Troon flu is what has led to the decline and the degradation of the sector. In order to save and resurrect the sector, the Troon flu must be eradicated. Only the most well-experienced, the most intelligent, and the most bravest and endeavoring of adventurers and people can save the sector from the infestation caused by the Troon flu. And that is where Forge Gang comes in. The purpose of Forge Gang and the reason for the existence of Forge Gang is to save the sector from the Troon flu of doom. And that is the purpose of why Forge Gang exists. That is why I founded and created Forge Gang, to fight the Troon flu and save the sector and by extension the zone. Because if the Troon flu completely infects and takes over the sector, it will also take over the zone in that alternate reality. If that happens, if the Troon flu infects the sector and the zone in this reality and in that reality of the lower plane, it will converge a dimensional merger and cause the two realities to fall one into the other. What will then happen because of the Troon flu is the dimensional dualistic nature of two different sexes will be conveyed and converged into one reality, into one noosphere, which in turn will lead to only just one biosphere. What this means is there will be only one sex and one gender. There will not be male or female because of the Troon flu. There will be just one gender and one sex, and no gender or no gender or no sex, period. So, do you understand why it is important to protect the human noosphere from the Troon flu Christian dimensional merger? This is why the absolute insane madness of Christian and his tranny dimensional merger must be stopped. And that is what the purpose of Forge Gang is. The purpose of Forge Gang is to prevent the Troon flu from infecting the sector and the zone noosphere, which will then infect the biosphere and cause a Christian dimensional merger that will lead to only one gender. This is why it must be stopped. And this is what is the purpose of Forge Gang. To save the sector in this reality and to save the zone in the other reality from the Troon flu virus. So there you go. Now you know. And knowledge is power. And the more you know, the more that you will be aware. Code of Truth says, Forge! Code of Truth says, you can get a Russian voice mod in Stalker. Oh, is that really possible, Code of Truth? Let's see here. Milk Cow says,
Can't eat solid food.
Bob A says, what? Juice says, haha. Bob A says, I know who you are, Mr. Reef. Juice says, so the zone was before the sector. Yes. Rick says the new existence. Let's see here. Bob A says, what are you trying? You're only 7. You're on a plane. Code of Truth says, yes, I have it. All the characters speak Russian, but you can read the game in English. It is much more immersive. How do you get a voice mod in Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl multiplayer then? How do you do that, Code of Truth? Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. So now you know the purpose of the zone, the sector, the common consciousness, the Troon flu, the Chris Chan dimensional merger and why it must be stopped, and the purpose of Forge Gang. So, I am Imperator of Forge. This is an introduction to what the sector is and why Forge Gang must save the sector and the zone from the Troon flu. Thank you for watching.